Okay, we're back in chapter 12. Chapter 12 now becomes a staccato, which it means short little orders or commands to us on the way that we're supposed to behave. And so just to summarize, we're offering ourselves as living sacrifices personally to God, holy, pleasing to Him. We're not being conformed to this world. We can see ourselves for who we are. We're humble, sober attitudes. We know we need each other. Remember, he's talking about unity in the body here. And now he's going to give us a few more commands or exhortations to do so. Now, some people in past class have had the most trouble with this because it now pushes our behavior. And now you have to act in a certain way. So let's look what it says in chapter 12, verse 9. It says, "Love God, be sincere, hate what is evil, cling to what is good." Now that is really important, because if you have the heart of God and the mind of God, you will start hating what He hates and loving what He loves. So that leads you, if you're watching things that God hates, and you're using it as entertainment. I always say this: if it acts like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a duck. And if you're being entertained by the world and you love what is evil, then you are probably evil. And so you cling to what is good. In verse 10, it says, "Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves." That's not that hard. "Never be lacking in zeal, but keeping your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord." And so, here at Westminster, we try to do service projects every semester for the different grades to try to instill in you that our job or our privilege or our duty as Christians is to serve those who need help. It's not about us. And so he says, keep that spirit of serving alive. Be joyful in hope. We've talked about this. Patient in affliction. Usually when we're suffering, we want to get out of the suffering right away, even to escapism. And people are escaping into drugs, into alcohol. They're escaping into Netflix. They're escaping into spending hours and hours on TikToks. If you're in affliction, be patient in affliction. Do not run for it. Faithful in prayer. Share with God's people who are in need, and practice hospitality. This is social justice for Christians, right? This is what we're supposed to do. Bless those who persecute you. Now, this is where the people had a lot of trouble. Remember, Jesus said, love your enemies. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Verse 17, do not repay anyone evil for evil. If someone does something to you, do not do it back. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. If it possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge. This is a tough one. But leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, it is mine to avenge, I will repay. If something happens to you, you do not pay them back in the same way. You do not do that. It is not yours to take vengeance. You are not judge, jury, and executioner. You leave that room for God. I will repay, either in this world or the next. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Listen to me. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. So answer the questions. Get back to me. There are some practical questions there about who's your enemy, who's your neighbor. And if you have any questions on it, get back to me. We'll start chapter 13 next time. See ya.